Hey, boys and girls, it's Mr. J here on a beautiful morning. I want to talk to you a little bit about trees and trees versus plants. And one of the things that we notice with trees is their exterior bark. And I call that woody. It's got a woody stem. I learned that at Augustana in botany. Kind of like the study of science, the study of plants is botany, and botanical gardens, as again we hear that word bot in there. But anyway, we have woody stems and we have herbaceous stems. And a grass plant, that'll be a poor example, but it's because it's got a leaf on it, doesn't have a stem. But there are plants that have a stem, but it's not woody. That's how we would differentiate a tree. So here is a tree, and it can grow really tall, and that woody stem will allow us to do that. And then down here, that's an herbaceous stem. And if I was a deer, I could just bite that right off. And trees, when they first come up out of the ground, they will have an herbaceous stem sometimes for the first year, and so the deer can eat them. They don't have that layer of protection on it. And then every year, once they start putting on that woody stem, every year they put on another layer. And that's the kind of stuff that makes cool tree rings, and we'll talk about that. But the trees can grow really tall. Look on the internet at the giant sequoias and the redwood trees. I mean, those things are gigantic. But the ones here in Mr. J are 50, 60 feet, the big ones, and I'll show you that. But another common mistake that people talk about is they use the word pine trees. A pine tree is a specific kind of conifer. So I want you to start calling all your quote-unquote pine trees, I want you to call them conifers, because that's their true name. Here's a Colorado blue spruce, and beautiful blue color. And I would say that isn't quite a school bus. I'd say it's about 20 feet tall, but I don't want to say a pine tree. I want to say a conifer, right? These other trees, there's a beauty maple right here. Look how tall that's get. And its branches are coming out. The lower branches are coming out. They're looking for sun. And when trees have that shape, like a triangle, it's called apical dominance. The top branch has to go higher and higher to get the sun. The branches below it have to reach out a little further, the bottom ones a little further, and you get that nice triangle shape. And it's called apical dominance. And in the forest, there's always trees that are fighting for sun. Another big, beautiful oak, gigantic. Gravity's working against trees, but look how strong that trunk is that can hold that up. There's a black cherry. That's a big one. But trees have life cycles just like people. Some of them live for a short time. Some of them live for a long time. Some oaks can live to be over 100 years. At Disney, I'm pretty sure they have one that is. This one here, in particular, it's a dandy. It's a big one. And it's lost some of its branches. But boy, it is bigger around than Mr. J, easily. I'm going to stand up next to it. Check this out. Look at this. Whoops. Whoa. Hey, I'm okay. I fell down. Almost. I want to show you how big that trunk is. Look at that. It's as big as me. There's no way. How many people would that take if we put our arms hand to hand? And there's a part of the tree that died. Broke off. And now insects are going to get into it. It's all part of the great circle of life. And here, the wood is rotting away. And, oh, come on, can I see some good wood-destroying insects? I wouldn't be able to tear this up, this hardwoody, but you can see their tunnels here. That an animal's making a home in here. So even though it died, it's still part of the great circle of life. And you know, one of the principles of science is matter is not created, nor is it destroyed. It only changes form. Okay, that's a scientific principle you're going to learn more about. And everything's in balance. Look at this. A woodpecker has been working away at that thing or something. And it could be that a creature, maybe a ground squirrel, has made a home in that. And you know, we don't have to do anything about it. We want to plant flowers in our yard. I mean, we have to do that. But nature, they already have a plan, and they don't look at landscaping the same way as people do. Because it's a planet, and we're here to live on it. So I'm excited about that. And I'm glad that you're still learning, you're still thinking. Get out in the world and look at the wonder of it all. It's amazing. You can read about it in books, but to experience and stop and look at a spider web, look at a conifer. Somebody says, oh, look at that pine tree, aren't those nice? I may not know if it's a pine tree, but it is definitely a conifer. And you can talk to people like that. Well, you can talk about woody and non-woody stems. And that every year a tree puts on a new ring and it gets wider and wider. And that's really cool. And there's all kinds of plants parts that you can check it out on Generation Genius. So I'm excited, and I hope that you're loving plant weed and all the trees that are out there. Ooh, there's another conifer. I don't know the name of that one. I might look that up. And that's it. We got all this internet. Now we get out there in nature and see what stuff is, and then you look it up. But that's a dandy conifer, and it likes it right there. That big tree over there fell down, knocked out all these other trees, and opened up a patch where the sun can get in. New trees will now, that are little, can start to take over the forest, because that oak has been eating up all of the sunlight and the nutrients. And now the forest floor is open again, and life can come together. And where those branches and trees are down there, new ones can come around it. And the deer who eat plants, they're herbivores, right? They can't get to them. And then what happens is that eventually will rot away, make the organic soil great for growing conditions, and a new tree will grow up. And we'll be here long after Mr. J has gone on. So go to a park, go to Scott County Park if you can, go to Wildcat Den, stop and look at it all. Go to your parks, and remember to call them conifers, not pine trees. There's a real tree that's called a pine tree. All right, you know it now. Have a great day.